Hello, beautiful Aquarius gang. Welcome to my channel, Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. We are going to do a general message for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements. Please come into the reading with an open heart and an open mind, a desire to maybe learn something or better yourself. If the messages that come through don't resonate, please do push them aside. Maybe assume they're going out to someone else this week. But be open-minded because they may actually resonate for you at a later date. You may choose to revisit this reading. So that is entirely up to you. You are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. This is optional advice, guidance, energy check-ins. So do with that what you like, but please do trust your own intuition above all else. All right, and thank you for your patience. I know I'm delayed this week. I had a mess of issues going on over the weekend, so yeah, we're here, we're doing it. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate it. All right, Seven of Wands, Knight of Cups, the Seven of Cups. All right, a couple sevens here. The Lovers, the Four of Cups, and the Page of Cups. All right, so we have a decent amount of cups going on, similar to the Gemini reading. Bottom of the deck is Five of Wands, so this can be conflict. This can be people kind of agitation or rubbing each other the wrong way. It can also be internal strife and struggle too. Leo is very prominent in this card too, so there may be a Leo in your life who's causing a little drama or a little chaos. We'll see, and that may or may not factor into it. Your family may be fighting about some stuff. I don't know the severity of it, but yeah, there could be, coworkers bickering, etc. All right, we're gonna dive in a little bit deeper. That's kind of maybe the overall theme of this is conflict. So let's be solution oriented. We'll see what we can do for you here. I'm going to read this as sort of past, present, future, or essentially where are you headed in your path right now. So keep in mind, if this is talking future, you have free will. You have the ability to change this. Nothing is set in stone. And then I'm going to look at what you need to release and embrace. For some of you, it seems like you need to release a partnership or making a decision that is not in your best interest. I would encourage you to think outside just the realm of romantic partnership, friendship, family relationships. But yeah, the Lovers, it's almost like they're bound together and there's a very bittersweet energy here. I don't get the idea of long-term feuding where it's like a messy divorce or a breakup that's been a long time coming. If that is the case about something a long time coming, I don't think either party is completely like, oh, thank God, I just want to be done with this. There almost seems to be like, we want to stay together, but we know it's not in our best interest, or I'm being pulled in another direction, or, I need to pursue this part of my life and I would be sacrificing it if I stayed in this situation. If it doesn't talk about literal like lovers, again, it could be couples in any sense of the word, but it can also just be important decisions. So I do think you are clinging on or holding on tightly to something, but ultimately that it is time to release it or embrace the idea of giving it a little bit of space, maybe some time away. Who's to say it won't come back in your future? But yeah, what you're being asked to embrace is the idea of, let's see, you have some Moon and Cancer energy in the Page of Cups. So honoring your intuition is really what I see here with the Cup energy. A new-ish opportunity with the Page of Cups that allow you to express yourself in, or really honor your emotions in a very truthful way. And with the Moon in Cancer, we have to remember there's fluctuation there. So it might not be steady and consistent the way something in your past was or something recently you're being asked to give up is. It's sort of like, the changing of the tide. There's going to be highs and lows, and it might be that you feel like you're being ushered into a cycle or a circumstance where you're sort of, wet behind the ears, or you're the newbie, or, very much like a student in this arena, like you have a lot to learn. But that's no reason to shy away from it. And I don't necessarily associate that energy with Aquarius, but I am just kind of reading it as it presents here. So again, something about the fluctuating moon here, that energy has come through in a bunch of the readings this week. We had the lunar eclipse in Scorpio, right? So South Node in Scorpio, releasing the past, allowing things to die off or transform into new energy in our life. And then the idea of sort of the sun and Taurus with the North Node, it's our growth and our prosperity, but over long periods of time, really committing ourselves to people, places, projects, our own path, that kind of thing. And it's slow. We have to remember that. There could be sort of an antsy, agitated energy to try and get something to move. Very, very Gemini energy here with the Lovers card. Lots of thoughts, lots of ideas, lots of decisions. So don't get too lost in the chaos or the confusion, because really you've known the answer all along. It's in your heart. It just might not be the path of least resistance. In fact, I think it probably will involve a little bit of resistance, or a little bit of needing to stand your ground and stand up for yourself. And obviously it doesn't have to be physical conflict, right? But it could be, people maybe projecting and worried about your concerns, so worrying about your well-being or your safety, trying to talk you out of it when really it's just not something they would feel comfortable going after, right? And again, you need to trust what is best for you. I'm not saying this is going to threaten your physical safety or anything, but your parents might be very protective, very smothering maybe, especially a mother figure. We'll see. So then in your recent past, you have 7 of Wands. I'm hearing the word rise up. So there was something, I don't know if you rose up in responsibility, in a leadership position, or if you just accomplished something, a personal goal in your life where you're realizing that you have more strength and capability than maybe you originally thought in this circumstance or scenario. Let's see, I think my 7 of Wands, I want to say, is also a Mars card. Yeah, I think this is Saturn. Realizing your own strength is sort of what I get from this. Not the classic depiction of the 7 of Wands, but it's similar in that it's kind of like saying you do have the higher ground. You may have a lot of obstacles coming at you, a lot of challenges, but you have the higher ground, you have the upper hand. It's also a card that very much says, the divine is backing you. If you have the strength to move forward and you believe in yourself, the universe will meet you halfway. The results of whatever this is may differ from your expectations. But in a sense, I very much see this as you do have the blessing of the universe, but you also have I'm not sure, is autonomy the right word? You have the responsibility to make decisions for yourself based on what you feel is best, right? For some reason, I don't know why, I'm just getting the energy of sometimes you don't need to consult everyone around you or seek permission or approval. I don't know if it has to do with that. But yeah, you seem to have a lot coming at you. So it could be that you're under fire at work, or you're having to answer for someone, or have a lot of questions being thrown at you. And either it can be a card of deflecting, but also getting yourself out of a sticky situation. So that's sort of coming up in your past. Let's move on to your Knight of Cups here. So in sort of your present energy, you're showing up as like the Knight of Cups. So mutable water energy, right? Kind of Pisces energy. It's ruled by Jupiter and Neptune. So typically it's kind of a beautiful, romantic, dreamy, artistic energy, creative. Sometimes it can be the hopeless romantic. To me, this Knight of Cups is searching for meaning. It's looking for something that's going to provide more meaning in life, more spiritual grounding. But also, knights always indicate action and movement, minimum movement, right? Some change in possibly a new direction, or changing up of how you feel about something. And then coming in your near future, you have 7 of Cups. So yeah, it's really interesting, these 2 sevens, the way they're depicted. Here she's riding on her dragon, and it seems like there's bounty around her. There's all these cups that are there to provide nourishment, support, fuel her creative impulses. There is something more at peace about her. She just seems more relaxed to me. There's rainbows shooting out of the cup, so maybe there is more diversity, there's more inclusion, there's more honoring unique gifts and talents and creativity. I'm kind of getting some Leo energy off of that. But then again, this one, it almost seems like there could be the idea of like being at battle or being at war with someone or some group or some entity, or I don't know, it could be a legal thing. So I do think we're making strides in the right direction, but I do see there's a sacrifice to be made, possibly for your own emotional health, your mental health, that you would have to release something that you're not ready to release. And this could also be a card of loyalty. You could be I'm just giving you this as an example, a job that it's just turned into chaos and anarchy, possibly because of, what's going on in the world. Lots of changes, lots of new responsibilities being shoved on who's ever left, right, in the company. And it could be that you have loyalty to friends, companions, coworkers. Maybe you really like your boss, but you don't like management. it seems like you were in it for the fight, but there's just something where it's not emotionally fulfilling anymore. And so I'm not saying all of you are going to exit, right? But it's like you're searching for meaning or something to make this situation more meaningful or more that honors like your own wellness. But I see you, it's like caught between a rock and a hard place. Some of you are wanting to ascend or grow in your role, but you're being told no, you're being shut down. And so there could be some kind of hurt or some, like hurt feelings, feeling like you're not respected, feeling like what you contribute isn't being seen as valid, or not being able to move in the direction that you're really wanting to. Feeling stuck. I mean, you definitely have Saturn energy with the Five of Wands. Saturn and Leo. So again, something to do with leadership roles or how you are viewed in group settings. That seems to be under fire this week, or in the spotlight anyway. Sevens are all about assessment. Are you happy? Is it good for you? Is it too hard? Is it too easy? What can we change? What can we reallocate? What can we reestablish? We're in a Mercury retrograde, so all those redo words, right? It's not necessarily saying making huge changes, because with Mercury retrograde, there is a lot of confusion, misinterpretation, misunderstandings. You don't have a lot of sword energy here. So a lot of the energy presenting this week, it's coming from a much more like spiritual or intuitive place, which is completely valid. I would be more nervous if you had a lot of sword energy and you were basing your actions or your future trajectory off of that, because I would say, well, communications might not be accurate right now. But really, it's an intuitive feeling. It's just that feeling in your belly of something isn't right here. I'm going to pull one more on the Seven of Cups in the future. Seven of Cups, I believe, I think it's a Venus card. I think it's Venus and Scorpio. So you have transformation there. And this kind of Leo energy and the Scorpio energy, they're both fixed, as are you, Aquarius, right? If you're an Aquarius sun anyway. So yeah, there could be a lot of people coming up against each other and not wanting to budge. I would say work your way towards transforming this situation. I would not stay stuck in the status quo, because quite frankly, I think it's exhausting. I don't think anybody could put out that amount of energy. It almost feels like you're fighting a losing battle. And I don't say that to be negative or pessimistic. I think you've held your own quite successfully, but how much longer can this continue? I think that's what it is. I don't see you shying away from hard work. I see you rolling up your sleeves and putting in the fight. But again, at the end of the day, is it worth it? Is there meaning to what you're doing? And that's what I see you doing. I see you searching for more meaning and asking sort of deeper questions in life. Whoops. Oh no, don't fall. It's funny, the Lovers came out again. So maybe this does have to do with romantic partnership. It's funny though, and obviously this won't apply to everyone. I see both of these Lovers cards as very pleasant. I don't see it as, a couple has all this baggage between them and how do we solve it? And I see external forces threatening the long-term commitment of a relationship. But again, I think it's work-related or family-related. I think pieces of your life are pulling at you and agitating what possibly is a good or healthy relationship. I'm not saying it's perfect. So can I get one on this, Lovers, then? The Nine of Cups. Yeah, your wish fulfillment. Isn't that interesting? Are you... It's so funny, Aquarius. I did another reading for you last week and I got cut off because I had a phone call and it was like 11 minutes long and I was like, you know what? It's probably not worth it. Maybe it just wasn't meant to be. It was not the same cards, but similar and kind of a convoluted message. Like, I want this, but I can't. And it's similar with this Lovers card. Sometimes I really don't like the Lovers card, I'll be honest. But I don't know. These two, it actually seems very spiritually nourishing. So if you're not in a relationship like that right now, it might not be your message. Why are we being asked to move away from the Lovers card? And that's certainly something that could come into your life. It could be new romantic options are making their way in, and maybe you would have never met that person had it not been for some other change in circumstance, whether it's family or job related, where you did have to go out and seek more. You did have to honor honor nourishing yourself, and like bare minimum, what you need to feel safe, what you need to feel nourished, what you need to feel not coddled, but very Cancerian energy. Like, you need the cozy home and the delicious food and the nurturing relationships. That's like bare essential for what you're being asked to focus on this week. So what in your life can you get rid of that isn't contributing to that? That's, again, agitating, keeping you really busy versus like peace of mind and coming home at the end of the day and being able to unwind. I see water being very healing to you right now, so or maybe like sound therapy or sound baths or something like that. Something kind of spiritual to help kind of recalibrate your energy that has a lot of fire opposing it, like fire and water. Meditation, just literally taking a bath or a shower, a swim if you can. Something about water being very healing and rejuvenating for you right now. Why are we being asked to move away from the Lovers? The Chariot, because there's more out there for you. It has to do with not settling. And it might also be, it doesn't necessarily have to indicate a breakup, but it could possibly have to do with codependency or relying on your partner to come through for you. I'm not at all saying they are a good or bad person. That's not really what it's about. But it's saying there might be a circumstance where this person can't fight the fight for you, or this person can't be a part of the scenario where you have to, quote unquote, like go to war. Your person may have to sit an inning out. Maybe your person is healing from a sickness, and so you have to kind of go out and do this on your own. And I do think it's a very empowering message, but it also is saying don't lose touch with your sensitive side and your, whether you're male or female, kind of this feminine, nurturing, maternal-like energy. But the Chariot is like, yeah, put on your war paint, put on your game face. Sometimes it's quite literally a card of travel, though. So if we're being asked to move away from the Lovers because there's a travel opportunity, if that's the case, it seems like you don't want to leave your person. Aquarius, I'm a bit perplexed by this, and I mean, people are complex human beings, so that's not a bad thing. Are you afraid to be alone? Are you afraid to be on your own? Are you afraid to face some sort of stressful situation or circumstance on your own? I think this is saying you have a well of strength. You just might not realize it. But this may be a initiation into sort of meeting that part of yourself that is a warrior. And again, not needing to rely on the group to necessarily support you or validate whatever you're trying to do, because it just seems like there's an internal knowing that you're supposed to go do this. You're supposed to chase something. For a very, very select few of you, I could see a situation that has come between you and your partner that is health related. Specifically someone who may have a partner who's dealing with substance abuse issues, and they may need to like go seek rehab or help or some sort of transformational healing, and that could explain the putting you at odds with your person. It could be someone in your life who you need to have an intervention with because like the warring can't go on anymore. But again, it is a journey of wellness and finding one's soul and sort of this quest for spirituality and meaning and oneness, right? Very Piscean energy. It's like sort of the cosmos, that we all are interconnected and there is no separation of emotion because it's all just kind of flowing into one big ocean, right? Can I have anything else on what you're supposed to embrace is the Four of Cups. So kind of Moon and Cancer energy, honoring your feelings, honoring your need for both relationships as well as alone time to, again, recharge your batteries, so that you're not bringing home kind of this nasty, negative, destructive, quarrelsome energy with you at the end of the day, being able to hit reset and be in your elements. sometimes with Seven of Cups, there can be something of like substance abuse. Not always though. And to be honest, that's not the first thing that comes to mind here. But what's interesting, and I really want you guys to note this, you're being asked to move away from the Lovers. And when I asked why, it's the Chariot. So again, moving forward with something that it's going to be profound and impactful, but it does require your inner warrior to shine. It's kind of like, all right, it's go time. Maybe, again, that doesn't have to mean breakup, but what's interesting is moving away from that, even though you don't seem to want to, something about the Lovers or this connection comes back in the near future, right? I have a strong feeling these Lovers are connected. So moving away from something to find something spiritual or maintain a better work-life balance, seek out good avenues for your spiritual health, your creative instincts, etc., etc. I do see this as a very isolating time, but it doesn't have to be a negative one. It seems like you're at a distance from something or someone that you miss terribly, but I think you're being asked to make the most of it. Maybe you're on a business trip, right? Maybe you've been relocated to help the business in another country or what. I don't know, you guys. I'm just giving you examples. But what's interesting though is in the near future, the Lovers comes back. And not only that, Seven of Cups says emotional options. It could be absence makes the heart grow fonder, but it could also be that a relationship that is getting you by and perfectly acceptable, but maybe not as full of passion as you would like. Maybe the sexual energy isn't quite in inequality. It could be that when you go out into the world and allow yourself to mingle and meet new people, there's actually an introduction of something or someone new that far exceeds what you thought you were going to settle for or what you thought was setting the bar really high. It's a bit of a convoluted message, but I don't think you're moving away from this forever. I don't really see cards of culmination of chapters. I don't. I see you in the midst of a beginning an adventure that intuitively you've wanted to pursue for a long time. Page of Cups says you may actually be making more strides to pursue this. It could be spiritual studies or artistic studies. There's movement, but I think it's one of those things you don't necessarily see light at the end of the tunnel because of this sort of Neptune energy. There's this fog. There's a little bit of confusion of like, well, what am I actually doing here? It's like, I almost see this too as like, I know what I definitely don't want, but I'm not sure what I do, and that's okay. This might be saying you need to explore your options. Right? Seven of Cups. There's a lot of them. And with that, there's, again, confusion. Well, which one should I choose? Well, maybe try one on for size. See what, quote unquote, tastes good, so to say. Maybe it isn't this yes or no, black or white definitive answer. Maybe it's kind of a merging of different ideas. Maybe it's a collaboration. Maybe it's 2 part-time jobs. Maybe it's being in relationships where you're not seeking exclusivity right out the gate. Maybe it's trying people on for size and seeing who's a good match, who floats your boat, seeing who's a good dance partner for you. Again, one who can kind of anticipate your moves and support you through them and vice versa. I actually think that the idea of sort of the dance, very Piscean, again, dreamy Neptune energy, it's like, it takes 2 to tango. But also, it's like an intuitive knowing. You're not speaking to your partner saying, okay, now twirl me, I'm going to do this. You develop a sense of rhythm with someone, and it's just there. It develops quite organically. I see some of you needing freedom from a relationship where it's not abusive, it's not bad, it's just okay, but for some reason it's inhibiting your growth. And I don't even necessarily see this person as malicious or controlling. It's just like a circumstantial. It's like you fell into something that was equally comfortable for you both, but maybe this is the issue. Maybe it's not challenging you enough to go after your goals. Maybe you needed, okay, so there's the Ten of Swords it's wanting to show. The illumination of new thoughts or new ideas, right? Sun in Gemini. Gemini is the facts, the information, what's being told, what's being communicated. And the Sun is about the ego, the self, your growth, possibly your career, your identity, what you do in this world, in this lifetime. To me, sometimes this can be a card of like ego death, right? And that's not a bad thing, but it means, Scorpio energy. You're transforming into someone new, and if you're in a relationship that isn't supporting that and is enabling sort of this lull or lack of development, then maybe it is time to put an end to something. Or maybe it's a comma rather than a period, right? Maybe it's like time apart, but let's see what comes of this. It's not that I don't see this person supporting your dreams. I do. I almost see like kind of this tearful, bittersweet goodbye because both people want to stay together. And again, this could be in terms of a job as well. The idea of not wanting to leave your work bestie or whatever. But again, it's inhibiting your growth. I do find these cards very significant, these 2 sevens, but I'm having trouble putting it together. Maybe that number is significant to some of you. Maybe you're going to be seeing a lot of 7s on the clock, and that's going to be or 7s anywhere, license plates, whatever. Maybe that's going to be an indication or a confirmation for some of you. Assessment of action that needs to be taken. I do see some of you just really stressed out and strapped for time and just lacking energy at the end of the day, where your physical well-being is being challenged by like your work duties or what you're being asked to perform. Some of you may just need to go on a spiritual retreat. I could totally see that. I will say, as much as this kind of sounds like I know this sounds odd. I'm just acknowledging that. Some of you may actually find love and partnership on a spiritual retreat. And I think Neptune has been conjunct Jupiter, so depending on where that falls in your chart, make sure that you are not idealizing the wrong person, that you're not looking up to some sort of like, I don't know, like some guru who's, selling you on these ideas and you fall in love with them. I don't know, just with 7 of Cups, there can be confusion about your feelings. There isn't any swords here. So again, Mercury retrograde says we really can't take facts at their... or you know what I'm trying to say? We can't take everything as fact that's being delivered to us because things being communicated are being misconstrued and misinterpreted. You have to go with your feelings, but again, when there's a lot of feelings involved, there can sometimes be difficulties in knowing who to trust. So the answer is you. You need to trust yourself. Only you know what is best for you. Anyway. All right, let's get you an animal card. In terms of zodiac signs, I definitely see Cancer. I see Gemini. I see Pisces. Again, possibly Scorpio and Leo. And it doesn't have to do with any of those signs, but it could. Confirmation for those who are seeking it. I see the wolf at the bottom of the deck. Again, something about sound energy or singing or music therapy is coming through for some of you here. Hearing word like audio, audience, auditory. I don't know what those... I don't know how those are combined here, but I'm hearing them, so... All right, anything else? The sea serpent and the fish at the bottom of the deck. Reminds me of Pisces. All right, let me read sea serpent for you. I think that's like a special one. Let's see. Cosmic egg, that's not it. Unicorn, black egg, golden egg, dragon. Oh, sea serpent. There we go. All right, so I'm going to read from Kim Cran's Animal Spirit Guidebook. It says, the sea serpent indicates healing emotional wounds and expressing desires. The sea serpent represents the energy of expression. Whether it's emotional creativity, sensuality, or desire, the sea serpent helps us to move and direct our energy into a healthy current. When the essence of this card is in balance, we express ourselves creatively and sexually without fear or shame. We know what we desire most. Our hearts are at ease and our relationships are meaningful and enduring. We loosen the grip of self-judgment and we let the cool waters of forgiveness in to heal our wounds. When the energy of the sea serpent is not activated, our emotions and creativity are left in the muddy waters. The current of expression stagnates in some areas of our life and in other places it floods. It is important to remember, no matter what the waters of our emotional lives look like, the sea serpent loves us just the same. Like a mother, she wraps herself around us in a gesture of protection. She supports us as we learn to express our true natures. So the sea serpent is also connected to the second chakra, it says. The subtle energy of the sea serpent occupies the area of the, oh gosh, I'm going to butcher this, Svadhisthana chakra, located deep within the pelvic bowl. This chakra is known as the center of our creativity and the desire associated with the water element. You had a lot of water. This word translates as in her own abode, indicating this chakra is the home of the divine mother or Kundalini herself. All right, interesting. So again, with the water, yes, absolutely, but also the Cancerian energy presenting here is that's sort of what we look to as the mother of the zodiac, Mother Moon, that type of stuff. And the Chariot, something about important decisions regarding the mother. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna let you guys interpret this too, because again, everybody's story is a little bit different, but maybe meditate on this card and see what it says. See what it says to you. Thanks for joining me today, Aquarius. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys hopefully soon for more tarot. Bye.